Welcome students. Welcome students to class 7. Today we will continue with our first chapter of history. We will solve the exercise part. What is the first question? Who was considered as a foreigner in the past? So, any stranger who did not belong to a certain society or culture and was not a part of that particular village was regarded as a foreigner. For example, a forest dweller was a foreigner for a city dweller. But two people belongs to the same village were not foreigners in spite of their different religions or caste or background. That means the foreigners are those. That means a city dweller is a foreigner for a forest dweller. Question number 2. State whether true or false. What is the first statement? We do not find inscription for the period after 700. No, it's false because historians rely on coins, inscriptions, architectures and textual records for information for the study of period from 700 to 1750. Second, the Marathas asserted their political importance during this period. True, it is true. Students, just write the reasons also so that your concept will be more clear. Then third is, forest dwellers are sometimes pushed out of their lands with the spread of agriculture settlements. Yes, it is true. Then next, Sultan Ghayasuddin Balban controlled Assam, Manipur and Kashmir. No, false, because Sultan Ghayasuddin Balban ruled a vast empire that stretches from Bengal in the east to Ghazni in Afghanistan in the west and includes all of South India. Then fill in the blanks. Archives are places where manuscripts are kept. Ghiyasuddin Barani was a 14th century chronicler. Next, potatoes, corns, chilies, tea and coffee were some of the new crops that were introduced in the subcontinent during this period. Question number 4. List some of the technological changes associated with this period. What are the technological changes? That is the use of spinnacle wheels, Persian wheel and firearms. These are the three main technological changes. Question number 5. What were some of the major religious development during this period? What were the major religious developments? Worship of new deities, building of new temples by the royalty, increasing importance of Brahmins, priests as dominant group in society, then emergence of the idea of bhakti among people, then appearance of many new religions like Islam, and teaching of the Holy Quran was also brought by the merchants and the migrants in India. These were the major religious developments. Question number 6. In what ways has the meaning of the term Hindustan changed over the centuries? So, what are the ways? The meaning of the term Hindustan has changed over the past centuries in the following different ways. First was in the 13th century, the term Hindustan was used for the first time by Minhaj-i-Siraj, a 13th century Persian chronicler. With this term, he means the area of Punjab, Haryana and the land between the Ganga and Yamuna. During 14th century, the term Hind was used by Amir Khusrau to refer to the culture and people of the Indus River. And during the 16th century, Babur used the term Hindustan to describe the culture, geographical and fauna of the inhabitants of the subcontinent. Thus, earlier the term Hindustan was used to represent the geographical and cultural entity, but it did not carry the political and national meaning which we associate with it today. Okay, the next question is, what does the term pan-regional empire means? So, what do you mean by pan-regional empire? The term pan-regional empire is referred to an empire spanning diverse regions. The dynasties of the Mughals, Cholas, Khaljis and Tughlaqs were extended over pan regions. What are the difficulties historians faced in using manuscripts? So what are the difficulties we have discussed in our video? That is, during the past, the historian faced a lots of difficulties in using the manuscripts. They are due to lack of printing press. During those periods, the historian has to scribe the manuscripts by hand, and during copying, different historians introduce small changes in a word or sentence which were not clear to them. They presented their own vision. The changes made and new copies grew over centuries of copying, so the original manuscripts of the author is rarely found today. Historians have to read different manuscripts versions of the same text to guess what the author has originally written. These were the difficulties. The next question, how do historians divide the past into periods? Do they face any problem in doing so? So, what is the answer? Historians divide the past into periods on the basis of economical and social factors to characterize the major elements of different moments of the past. Yes, the historians face a lots of problems. Why? Because economical and social factors do not exist in a static way, so they have a tendency to change constantly, and in the period from 700 to 1750, Indian history witnessed a considerable change. After all, the 16th and 18th century were quite different from the 8th or the 11th. Therefore, describing the entire period as one historical unit is not without its problem. Moreover, the medieval period is often contrasted with the modern period. The term modernity implies a sense of material and intellectual progress. So, this further implies that there were no progress before, which is not true. This seems to suggest that the medieval period was lacking in any changes whatsoever. But we know that this was not the case. So, that means they are saying that it is very difficult for historians to divide. So, students, with this our chapter 1 is completed. We will continue the next chapter in next video. Till then, you have to complete your copies as soon as possible.